So boys, we are continuing our sandbox breakdown. We've done hand cannons, we've done scout rifles. If you want to check out both of those, they are in the description. Right now, we're about to talk about pulse rifles. We're going to hit all the different archetypes as well as the exotic pulse rifles, Graviton Lance and Vigilant Wing. Also, at the end of this week, guys, I am going to put together a video of different weapons I would recommend trying in Crucible. The sandbox has been shaking up a bunch. I know a lot of people are kind of resorting to things that they're more familiar with, but I have definitely seen and played with a bunch of weapons that are not your usual weapons in Crucible, but are a hell of a lot of fun. So first off, let's talk about pulse rifles. We're going to bring up high impact pulse rifles first. This was a big question before this sandbox change. Are things like Redridge Claymore, Relentless, Legal Action, will they be able to 2-burst? They can't. They hit 33 crit and 20 per body. Now, just because they can 2-burst doesn't mean it's always easy. There is a bit of a delay with that second and third shot on that burst, and with a lot of mobility that people are rocking in Crucible, it's sometimes hard to land that clean 2 bursts, which is where things like Headseeker and also Rampage come in to make things a little bit easier for you. Now, first off, let's talk about Headseeker. This is a perk that is found on the Trials Pulse Rifle Relentless. It essentially allows for more crit damage after landing a body shot first. It just allows the weapon to be a little more forgiving. Best case scenarios is still get the 2 burst in. Out of the 6 shots, one of those can be a body shot, thus resulting in you doing a total amount of damage of 189, which can kill Guardians 1 resilience or less. Again, more or less just makes it forgiving, not always applicable. With Rampage though, high impact pulses can hit 35 per crit and 22 per body. So Rampage definitely allows the gun to be pretty forgiving there. Moving on, we have the next set of weapons, adaptive frame pulse rifles. These are the 390 round per minute pulse rifles, things like Inaugural Address, Last Perdition. They hit 31 per crit and 20 per body. Essentially, guys, they are a guaranteed 2 crit, 7 body shot, which is a total of 202 health. Now, it's always going to take 3 bursts to get a kill on someone with adaptive frame pulse rifles, but they are so forgiving. They are the most forgiving pulse rifle. Now, at kill clip, they actually hit 41 per crit and 26 per body. So things like Inaugural Address that does have kill clip on it, it does some hefty amounts of damage. So you can easily get a 2 burst. Now, what I thought was really interesting was the adaptive frame pulses with Rampage. They actually hit 34 per crit and 21 per body. So Last Perdition actually has somewhat of a place, especially in 6s. You got a group of enemies in front of you. You get 1 stack of Rampage rolling. You are now going to be able to 2-burst multiple enemies at a time, and it only gets better with each kill. Next up on our archetype of pulse rifles is actually lightweight frame pulses. These are the 450 round per minute pulse rifles. Things like Nightshade that you see here in the thumbnail. And my favorite pulse rifle in the game currently, Infinite Path. These pulse rifles are extremely nasty, guys. Essentially hitting 25 per crit and 16 per body. It takes only 3 bursts to kill enemies, and it's got some wiggle room in there. Now at kill clip, it hits 33 per crit and 20 per body. So things like Nightshade, once you get kill clip going, can, yes, 2-burst you. Out of all the pulse rifles I have used, and I've used all of them so far, I have been the most impressed with the 450 round per minute pulse rifles. Nightshade was really good, but honestly, I found my stride with Infinite Paths. Multiple 1v1s that I felt like I was just outright dominating my enemy on the same level of Clever Dragon back in D1. It's disgusting, boys. Moving on, guys, rapid fire pulse rifles, things like Darkest Before, Time Worn Spire. These have been some of my favorites for a very long time. They're hitting 22 per crit and 13 per body. They can 3-burst kill any Guardian 198 health or less, which is the equivalent of 7 resilience or less. Needless to say, I would say the skill gap here for these are much higher, meaning you can reach a better optimal time to kill with the rapid frame pulse rifles. Darkest Before was putting in work for me, but if you're like me and you do tend to miss your crit shots from time to time, or one of those shots is a body shot, pulse rifles in that lightweight archetype might be more of your speed. It is mine. So rapid fire pulses definitely have the upper hand in terms of time to kill, guys, but it's super unforgiving if you land a body shot at all in that burst. Now let's talk about Vigilant Wing and Graviton Lance both. Graviton Lance is actually hitting that 58 plus 16 multiplier on crit shots and 36 plus 10 on that body shot. Now the magic number here to avoid getting 2 crit 1 body shot from Graviton Lance is 5 resilience. It can 1 body 2 crits any Guardian though, 4 resilience or less. So just like before, I would say you still want to keep rocking out 5 resilience to keep that from happening. And that's pretty much been the magic number with resilience overall. Now Vigilant Wing is now hitting 22 per crit and 15 per body shot. Remember, Vigilant Wing actually shoots out 5 bullets at a time. It can easily 2 burst enemies. Essentially now what we're looking at, guys, is 7 crits and 3 body shots. Again, that's only 2 bursts for 199 health. So any Guardian 8 resilience or less. Overall, fellas, the ones I've been the most impressed with, and don't get me wrong, I like Vigilant Wing, but I've mainly been entertaining the legendary pulse rifles more than anything. But the 2 pulses that have impressed me the most, Darkest Before and Infinite Paths. And Nightshade was pretty dang good too. Now some of you are probably like, why didn't I put Redrix in this video? Redrix is gonna get its own individual review here soon, guys. But yeah, it's just like the high impact variants from all the other pulse rifles. It can 2 burst as well. It just has Desperado. But that is a gun I would dedicate an entire video to, especially with Redrix broadsword on the horizon. Well, boys, those are your pulse rifles. Let me know in the comments below what you think about them. I very much enjoy all these changes. I was not expecting lightweight frame pulse rifles to be as good as they are. So that was actually a pleasant surprise. Now guys, before I let you go, we are doing a giveaway for Forsaken, and it's ending tomorrow, as in I am pulling the 4 or 5 winners. I think we got 5 copies we're giving away. I'm pulling the 5 winners tomorrow from Gleam, and I'll be getting in touch with you guys, whether on Discord or Twitter, one of those sources. But feel free to jump in on that raffle before we pull it, boys. Thank you all for coming and watching though, guys, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.